Morning, everyone, and welcome to Ruidoso. Anyway, you will join me standing alongside, and then we will pledge. Pledge. Pledge to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of Mexico, symbol of purpose among united cultures. And what is today? Be ready for the secretary. So hopefully you voted, you get to go vote, and you're to do it. Roll.
Councilor here. Councilor Salas
Here.
Councilor
Here.
Mary Quorum.
Thank you. I wasn't sure if Hooker was going to make it. He's on vacation.
Fine.
Yeah. One comment on objection resolution 33 meaning 313 Paradise Drive, a public nuisance. Yes, sir, Bob.
All right. So this agenda is going to be an opportunity for presenting the property Canyon. In other words, to speak with council or to the at this point, he's made an arrest, but she has last meeting when the resolution was commenced initiated, so to speak, direction or one of the to the by that what I fencing that had been placed without substantial, otherwise the minimal the means of removal of trees. I forget the name of the tree. It's considered some invasive tree. She did take some action against that, but I haven't physically seen her at the property recently. The reads that the agent is in 10 days receipt of copy of the resolution building structure regulations file into this order the village intensive as possible. My recommendation is writing, but go ahead and to come before council meeting. Not completely move it. However, that was one of
she did also put those items for sale.
Correct.
But never.
She and I had a conversation in which I advised her of the proceedings of what's coming up before the council. She indicated to me that she intended to sell some of the vehicles, if not all of the vehicles, and bring the property into compliance. However, I absolutely understand I have not seen progress on that either.
So,
Is that one red truck, is that a new vehicle?
No.
No? Okay.
It's been on the property. They've just moved the vehicles kind of from one side of the property to the other.
makes it look new. It's an
Yeah,
old,
it made it look new, yeah.
It's in a new place.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Zach Cook, I know because I had my opinion on it, but again, he's going along with Bobby, and your opinion is on her rights
I think that the safe move is for you guys to allow her to do the hearing, the opposition or whatever, the appeal of the resolution, which she asked for verbally. It says written, but I think we could get in a jam in a courtroom if we were to go forward with cleaning up for her and then leaning it, and just based on the record of conversations between Bobby and her, I think.
Which record, the volume, how many years does this go back?
Till 11. that's
Initial,
what I remember.
initial
Over 10.
violation was in 2011.
Yeah, okay. So,
So then, Zach, another.
may I have another, please, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you see the movie? When they slap the guy and he says, may I have another, sir? And he slaps him again. He says, may I have another, sir?
Animal House.
You want another one, Joe?
What
Go
is
ahead.
that? What, is that
I don't know, maybe it was, I don't know, one of those, with, Dan Aykroyd and those guys.
Animal House, Mayor.
You can slap.
No, I was just saying it's.
I'm
we're
out
back
of the
to-
way.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're
Joe,
on
go
your
ahead.
own.
So do we need to have some sort of documentation that states that they had a verbal conversation to where she asked for, it's being approved, that would be signed by her, just for record's sake?
I'm sorry, what's the bottom line question? Do we have to have that?
Or should we have that?
I mean, the record is what it is, and if we were to go clean up her place and put a lien on it,
I mean, the agreement to allow her to come before council without a written request, it's a verbal request, as Bobby stated, that, of course, you kind of setting the precedent, but do we need to have something on record that she acknowledges and Bobby acknowledges that they did have the verbal request and it's being
Honored.
honored, yes.
I've documented that via email. That's been my main source of communication with her. I acknowledged her request. I advised her that she needed to appear before the council on the 14th at the regular meeting. That's the only documentation that we have at this point, but I believe that would suffice for your question.
Okay, that was just the question, the documentation. Thank you.
Bobby, when did she verbally request, make the request to object or whatever?
So we had some issues. So within our posting guidelines and our notification guidelines, it gives us a specific 10-day timeframe. Once the resolution was passed and approved and we actually had the physical resolution, we attempted to post it in the paper and we ran into some issues, and I don't know the details on it, but it actually delayed that process. We did eventually get it posted in the paper, but I think that was about a, 1 week, maybe a little bit longer delay. Whenever it did post in the paper, I posted on the front door to the property, and she actually acknowledged the receipt of that and requested or objected, however you want to phrase it. In her words, I was advising her of her rights, and I misused the word appeal versus
Right.
objection. However, that was all done within that 10-day time frame. I don't have the exact
Okay.
date on that, but it was within the
So
legal
it was
timeframe.
within the timeframe?
Correct.
Okay.
So you answered my question. You did post it on the property.
Correct. We go
Okay.
above and beyond. It requires us to either post it in the local paper and on the property, or send a certified notice to the owner of record. We did all three of those.
Okay, because, yeah, on this resolution, it just says a public notification, and that's where I just, posted it on there. The other thing, so this will come up on our December meeting. We approve it next week?
No, we don't have to. You can still uphold it.
Right.
But she'll be here Tuesday.
Allegedly, the money's still 50/50.
Right,
She's gonna
right.
show up.
and Mayor, it's not a public hearing, it's just a regular action item.
Yep,
That's an action item.
yep.
Okay.
And Bobby, do you even know if she's here in town or where she's at, or?
I do not know where she's at currently. The last communication I had with her via the email that I referenced, she thanked me for the communication, and to the best of my knowledge, she indicated that she would be
Okay,
here.
so more than likely she won't be here, so.
It's possible. At this point, because she did commence within that time frame of removing the fence, we would have to start this process kind of from the beginning, which is why I recommended bringing this back to council with her objection so that the council could speak with her.
Yeah.
We have a couple of options at this point. The municipal court was able to actually ultimately get her to remove the portions of the fence. So that's one avenue that we could take, is put this back in the realm of the municipal courts, or we could start our process with another resolution. However, before we go to that point, I'd like the council to hear her side of what her intentions are with the property and timelines.
And my point is, either we just need to get rid of all this stuff and just let people do what they want to. We've been working on this for years. And just because somebody takes the trash out and hadn't done lickety-split about all the rest of the stuff, that doesn't show intention. That shows deceit, and that's my opinion. She's just blowing smoke up her butt, and we're telling, I don't agree with it at all.
Could we allow this person to come and speak? And if we say, no, we're going to stick with the resolution that we did, can we have another resolution ready for next Monday, going through the process again to start it? Because they started some work, vacated the property, and now it's back to where it's at. Because what's going to happen is now we're getting into the winter, and they're not going to do anything.
Right. And they ain't done anything since 2011.
Why do we have to do another resolution?
I don't understand. Why can't we enforce it? Just because she took the trash out or took a panel down, that doesn't show good faith on anything. I mean.
13 years. 12.
Yeah, it's bull.
No, I agree with that, Mayor, Council, if she's here or not here and council hears it, and if council rejects it, we move on and get it, do the clean and lean on it.
It's just
But
ridiculous.
isn't there some state statute, I remember, or something in the laws that say that if they start, then we have to just back off of it?
I don't know if
It's not
state
stated
statute,
in
it's
that.
ordinance.
No?
No, the statute and the ordinance both say they shall commence.
Okay.
And that's where we're getting hung up with how bad is it going to be, with the Civil Rights Act if they commence. But subject to Bobby's response to my comment, she commenced by taking down some fence, and then she has the appeal. So I would feel comfortable arguing in court that she got her day in court on the appeal date. And instead of doing another resolution, we just move forward with the current resolution.
I say.
Okay.
My opinion is that it states in the resolution such that she has X amount of time to submit a written request, and that wasn't done, so I'd say just don't even put it on the agenda.
That was my thought originally.
I like Zach's idea of just in case we've gone above and beyond to try and accommodate her. Let her, if she shows up, let her come. That's also our opportunity to talk to her and say, this has been going on forever.
12 years, this is the one extra cherry.
This stops today. You get it taken care of, or we will take care of it.
Well, it's kind of like drawing that line in the sand. If you don't do something about it, nothing ever happens.
Right.
And that's where we're at. We've been drawing lines in the sand with her and others, and until we finally go on there and start doing something. In the meanwhile, the people that live around there have to put up with the crap. And then they have rights too.
Yep.
And that's what I don't understand. How we're even here with her. I don't get it.
Just as a point of clarification, within the objection process, yes, it does require in writing, they must file that objection, but once heard at the council, if the council upholds the resolution and finds the property to still be a public nuisance, then the time frame is shortened from 10 days, I believe, to 5 days. I will double check that before I bring this, before we actually are in the regular council meeting. But I believe if the council upholds the finding that it's still a public nuisance, then at that point she has 5 days to commence correcting the violations. Again, with her already becoming compliant beforehand and filing the objection, although she did it verbally, not written, following through that process does give the council the opportunity to uphold your resolution.
But she never
But what is
came
compliant? What's the definition of compliant? Because she hasn't been compliant.
No.
Just because you tell a Wendy, but it's part truth, doesn't mean you're telling the truth. And that's the whole point. She never started, it was a fake out. It's just like, what was the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills when he faked that guy right out of his jockstrap and he scored the touchdown? That's what she's doing to us again. Giving us a head fade, and they've been doing it there from time and time. And we always go back. We're going to let you do it. We're going to go on. And I just don't know why we even waste our time on it anymore.
And Mayor and Council, I'd like to add that I had also a conversation with her on the phone, and I gave her my email address, explained to her that she could reply her written objection via email, gave her the address. kind of didn't tell her what to write, but told her she had that opportunity to do it by email, and she never followed through.
Okay.
So then, Bobby, it goes to a 5 days to commence. So she goes and she moves a couple of vehicles around on the property.
Compliant.
And then leaves. Not compliant, commenced. So she commences.
No, he said compliant. Well, she was compliant.
Well,
So-
complying with the ordinance, with the resolution, correct?
Correct.
That requires her to commence. So she goes out there, moves a couple of cars around, and then leaves town again. Then what do we do?
We're back to square one, which is the fight that we've been going through this process. To the point of your question at the last council meeting about other places that have used a different wording in the ordinance to give a timeline to complete, I can't find anywhere that's doing that, not in the state of New Mexico anyway, not with the resources that I've had thus far. I'm still doing research, but it appears that everyone is using the same language that's in the state statute, which is that commence within 10 days. From here, we could do a couple of things. We can hear her as an objection. We can deny that objection based on her not meeting the requirements of it being in writing. With either of those, if this resolution isn't upheld, she is technically compliant with commencing within that timeline. So my recommendation at this point would be to move forward, allow her to come before the council as an objection, and then uphold it. Otherwise, I believe that maybe putting this back in the realm of the municipal court, because they can set timelines that have an end date. They aren't basing it off of ordinance that has this process with clean and lean. There's fines and penalties. She has been brought to court as the responsible party for this property for the fence. So we do have it on record that she's acting as caretaker or responsible party. So I believe that that's a potential avenue.
It's the wagon wheel ordinance.
And Mayor, you guys have the option of going forward and cleaning and leaning it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying we need to do. We need to make a decision, well, we're gonna go clean it up, and then you never were, or if you did, you can pay us back.
I don't want to speak for Bobby, but I know that I am hung up on that commence language. And the issue is there's no cases that give us any guidance. So if you do that, and if we do end up in court and it becomes an issue, we're going to be the test case, which I don't think, I think it's kind of a coin toss. How is a judge going to rule? I know that
we
there's
had
some
such
judges I
rule last
preferred,
time.
yeah. So there is that. And all you're looking at, it's going to be a civil rights lawsuit. And just like any tort, we'll deal with it the way we always deal with everything, if you know what I mean.
Placate,
Well,
delay.
eventually settle, discovery, lawyers, executive sessions, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not the end of the world, and maybe New Mexico needs some clarification on what that statute means.
Right.
Not that we want to be the,
Test case.
yeah, but if we have to do it, we have to do it.
So are you saying allow her to come, and then whatever we do, if we chose to say, we've given you enough time, then go for it?
And that's your call, and you know the risks.
I'd like to hear how she's going to object to this ordinance or this resolution, because it clearly states remove all abandoned and inoperable vehicles, all boxes, bins, containers, lumber, junk, trash. So how's she going to object to that? It's more, civil rights case, sure, yeah, an attorney, you know how they are. They're going to go after civil rights. But at the same time, it's a health issue. It's a safety issue. It's a fire hazard that affects the entire village, because you get somebody driving by and throwing a cigarette out their window, catches that place on fire, it's going to spread through that canyon and affect a lot of other people. So it's so much more than just their property. It's what it's doing to everybody else.
I remember a guy on Texas Street that had a bunch of cats that we gave a ration to because it was health, safety, and welfare. The cats would end up with disease. They were living in the material, the stuff that was stacked and thrown in the cars and the skunks, and it's like Ross, maybe have him go over and check it out, see if it's a fire hazard. But then it looks like, we don't want to do that because we're ganging up on them. And the simple thing is we just ask them to do a little manual labor, get out of your chair, whatever she does, and go over there if it's your responsibility and start picking stuff up. That's all we've asked them to do.
And Mayor and Councilor Coughlin, to your point, all those things that you talk about, this isn't like a victimless crime where a court's going to be, the government's the bad guy on this one. I think, and I said earlier, it's a coin toss. I think because of those factors, we have better odds of prevailing because it is putting the entire village at risk for the things that you're mentioning.
So Zach, say she does come to speak and she's denied. It doesn't negate this particular resolution here, does it? I mean, it's still in place, it's still in effect.
Your denial of her objection would be, a confirmation that the resolution is valid and.
It's valid, and so the timeline still remains the same.
Well, Bobby said the ordinance says that after not the hearing, but after her objection to you guys next Tuesday, if you deny her objection, she has 5 days again to commence.
Okay,
Which
so-
if history is right, she'll go out and move a panel from her fence and then stop.
So this is basically just moving the goalpost.
Yeah. And all it's going to do, I'm the judge and I'm going like, well, you've trained these people, you've let them go, you've let them go, you've let them go, and now you want to stop? I don't think so. That's what I think. That's why I'm thinking this bunch of horse manure.
So Mayor, what did you do with all those cats you had?
Yeah, they said the thing was, we tried the spay and neuter program until we bankrupted it, and,
Bobby, could you get updated pictures?
Yes,
for
I will
next
have
Tuesday?
updated pictures for the council for the meeting.
Thank you.
so we'll put it on the agenda. And then we can listen and see if she shows up. And then if not, we'll follow the ordinance and have more discussion about it. And our email is still down? Yeah, because if you're having trouble, I haven't been able to get an email sent off my account since last Friday.
We had to send to Counselor Hooker to his personal email in order to have the Zoom link, so, but that came from a personal also. But
Okay. All right, so we'll put it on there for discussion. Thank you, Bobby.
regular item, perfect.
Thanks, Bobby.
And item number 2 is going to be dropped because they're not ready. Is that right?
That's correct, Mayor.
Okay. Item number 3 is supporting Resolution 2023-35, supporting the ADA transition plan, ADA policy statement, and the Title 6.
This is a federal requirement from DOT that we have these two documents in place to demonstrate that we don't discriminate as we receive federal funds to make infrastructure improvements throughout the village.
Does anybody have any questions?
So does that include our mapping programs
All DOT and federal grants that we receive.
that we would go in there?
Any questions? You want this on
Consent?
consent? Okay.
There's no ramifications of this, is it?
No.
No, okay.
Mayor Crawford, members of the council, in order for the village to be eligible for these federal grants, we have to upload our plan here and have it showing that we do have that in place.
The last time
For
the
funding.
village did it, I think, was in 2016, and along with a lot of other communities in the state. And so they're just trying to get everyone, all the local governments to update the dates on their plans, basically, because it was a boilerplate.
Right, okay.
Okay, thank you. Item number 4, discussion and presentation of the designation report with Metropolitan Redevelopment Area Plan for the Meacham Drive Corridor. Yes, ma'am.
With this, we're keeping with the schedule that was first initiated. And so we are on track for adoption at the December 12th council meeting. But as we have a pretty solid final rough draft, we want to bring that to you all for recommendations on the boundary of that MRA plan, as well as adjustments that you all may have. And within that, there will be project ideas, photographs of blighted properties or vacant land. And so we want to make sure that we have council included in this process. And so this is an opportunity for that. Today at the Planning Commission meeting, we'll have a public hearing that's been advertised, and another opportunity. We have had one public meeting. It was at the community center in the evening, and we're going to do this this afternoon just to afford more individuals to participate.
Okay.
And this also entails sidewalks?
Yes, they have showed sidewalks that were narrow or cracked or, yeah, all of
Coming
that.
up
So
like that.
they've identified that as an issue
Okay.
for pedestrian traffic.
Excellent.
What's the turnout been for your meetings so far, for the public meetings?
The one we had at the community center, we had the two representatives from Chewy's Auto Shop and a realtor from Century 21, right there by Allsup's. And then we had a handful of staff.
Okay.
But it was good. We were there probably 3 hours going through it.
Wow. Okay.
It was a great meeting.
Okay, any
Can I
questions?
provide them an update on the EDA?
Sure.
And then real quick, late yesterday afternoon, I received a phone call from Tricia Corbus with EDA. And the two grants that we actually did submit for plan design and to get us construction ready plans was going to be approved next week. They're taking it before the board, and it's $2.5 million that we would be awarded to get the construction plans for the high T along with Upper Sudworth. And Upper Sudworth is to include the roadway, the drainage, the lighting, sidewalk, all of that. And so once we have the construction ready plans, it just puts us in line to receive funding in the future. Ron's made a call to Francisco to see if they'd be willing to help with the match component, because right now it's $625,000 for both. And so he's in talks with them, and they're seeing what they can do for DOT to help pitch in on the match. And I also expressed to Tricia that one of the reasons that we had thinned out the scope of work on Upper Sudworth is because the match was so high. And so she's taking that back to her supervisor and letting them know if they can help us with a partial waiver of the match. So we're working on that, and we'll know next week.
Excellent.
So is the 625,000 part of the 2.5 million? So it's in addition?
That's ours.
Yes, that's,
3.1 million for
Plans.
plans? Holy.
But I mean, we're doing a major intersection of a US highway and a New Mexico State road. And
It'll
we're going
be-
all the way to Mescalero Trail.
in Mayor and Council, it's the whole project that Bohannon Houston did provide up
right.
on the feasibility study, and also until we receive the actual documents, we wanted to bring it up today, but we'll see what we get the final grant
That's the-
agreements.
Don't hold your breath.
Yes, so we're gonna,
But it's a good job staying after it, because it just looked like we were gonna get zilcho.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So I was
And,
pleased to hear
And I
that.
think they make it so high so that some people can't do it, but also on legislative session, there was funding supposed to be put in at state level that the state could then help with federal funds and grants.
and
on
that's what
that.
we wanted. We need to talk to our legislators on that too, to lobby for some additional grant funds, capital outlay for this project. Exactly.
And then with the MRA and everything that they're doing, Ron and Mike have been, and Samantha and a few others have been really working on some housing options, that there's some new wrinkles that they've added because of MRA, that funding can go towards housing and towards
Parking?
parking.
Yep.
And so then DFA's got 4% money, maybe, that you can do a private-public partnership with. So we're getting ready, you better be glad you're leaving, because it's gonna get
Would that have
Wide.
to be on Meacham, that public and private?
anywhere.
Ah,
Boom, boom.
nice.
Meacham and Sudworth, so.
When it's all done, I'll take the credit for it.
Okay, yeah,
We'll have to rename the street.
yeah,
There you go.
yeah. It'll be a
Thank you,
dose
Sam.
of discussions.
Coughlin Circle,
Thanks, Sam.
Coughlin Lane.
Yeah.
because it keeps going round and round.
Okay, thanks, Sam. Do we want that on consent or regular?
Regular.
Yeah.
Okay. Discussion on T-hanger agreement between the village and Jason Heller for Charlie 1T hangar beginning November 14th, 2023. And this one got behind us again.
Mayor and members of the council, this is a person who, a new lease agreement for a hangar, and that's why it's coming before you all. Anytime a new person enters into a lease agreement for a hangar or land, we bring it before.
Yeah, but when is it, November 4th? So, no, that, we're on time. I'm already thinking about Christmas.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I know.
So
So this consent-
$276 a month.
Yep, it's a,
Holy, do you know, I'm paying $1 less than that to park a trailer in Florida?
welcome to Florida.
I know, but it's like, and here we're getting a whole hangar?
Yeah.
now so you should buy an airplane.
No, I should convince Beth to let me sell the trailer.
It's better than don't live in a hangar though.
Yeah.
There in Florida.
Okay, consent.
Yeah, oh,
Consent.
yacht, yeah.
Discussion on Village of Ruidoso incentive plan.
Mayor Crawford, members of council, we're going to hold this one back. We're going to bring this back at mid-year. We're working with their water, sewer, wastewater on our certification schedule. We have some that are retiring. We want to make sure we have to have the adequate level 3 and 4. So we want to work with Christella and Cheryl and Adam and staff. And that's where we want to do some more and work with the college on doing the certification classes. So we want to bring that to council after mid-year, so.
I think it's a good idea, and we have 4 people
5 for the
Five.
CDL class.
in the CDO
Oh,
class
nice.
that's going on right now.
Why don't you go ahead and just give an update on that, Cheryl?
Sure, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
So the CDL class started yesterday. It's a 5-week Class A course. So it's a little bit shorter than if they'd gone over to Roswell to do it. We do have 5 employees. We were able to get grant funding for some of those. We have 1 solid waste, 1 water distribution, 1
Fireman?
street,
Fire.
and 2 firemen. So they'll be working with the instructor. The instructor's got a 100% pass rate. He's with the students. He's out of El Paso, and he's certified to teach here. He's got the trucks, and they'll be doing classroom stuff at ENMU. And then we'll talk about the MOU next. But anyway, we're really excited to get these guys through, and some of them had the opportunity for grant funding, and so hopefully in 5 weeks, they'll be walking out credentialed with an employment agreement in place. We have already got those signed for those employees.
Is this
Council-
every day? I'm sorry,
No,
Mayor.
go ahead.
Is this every day for 5 weeks?
So week 1 is 8 to 3, Monday through Friday. All the directors, we've worked with the directors. They know about the commitment to the timing. He'll be going over the overview of the class expectations and start some book work. And then weeks 2 through 5 he's flexible with the students. He's supposed to have up to 12 in the class, so there's some other entities also supposed to have joined. So he'll be flexible. He'll be doing some nights and weekends and half-days.
Okay.
So it's a commitment on all of our part, because
Sure.
it does take some people out of the mix as far as operations go, but it'll be well worth it.
You know, I've been contacted about, like at Allsup's, people that are working there in different places that they've heard about it. So I've just directed them to HR, to the website, to see if they could get hired, and then they could go into the program somewhere else. So I think y'all doing a good job on that.
Yeah, that's great.
Hooker, did you have something you want to say?
No, she answered it, Mr. Mayor. I was just going to ask about the contract. I know we had talked people getting that training and then going on, so that's all I was going to ask.
Yeah, we've got them on a contract, so.
Thank you.
Anything else? Want to discuss that a little bit?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's a nice one.
absolutely. Well, no.
No, we don't get to talk about that one. We're
Yeah.
not going to have it on there.
We just did.
We just did.
Yeah.
Okay, item number 7, discussion on MOU between the Village of Ruidoso and the ENMU, Ruidoso Branch Community Center to deliver CDL certificate programs on Village of Ruidoso property, Convention Center West parking lot. And they've talked to you, Bernadine, about this? Okay.
Yeah, Mayor and Council, so they'll just, when they get ready to do the skills, it'll be some backing and parking skills practice. And then for parking of the trucks, they'll use that west side of the parking lot there. So it's just an MOU for the duration of the classes. They'll do this one in the fall. They hope to do one in the spring, and then if the demand is high enough, they'll move to hopefully a 3rd class during the next year.
This is where we can discuss it.
Yeah.
Okay, you want this one regular?
Cheryl, just real quick, okay, so all 5 of those employees, they're not having to pay for this class?
Yeah, and kind of. They have to sign a contract, they have to be here.
Right, but
nothing
they,
out of pocket.
they don't have to pay?
Nope.
That's correct.
Okay.
And she was able to get grants for some of them?
Yes, we got grants for a couple of them. We do have some good employment contracts in place, and we just explained to them that, you know, the village is making a commitment, but we need to
Sure.
make sure that we're gonna help them get these skills. We need to make sure that they stay on board with this.
Yeah, I think that's really
And I've sent an
important.
email to Cisco upper people in Albuquerque and Shamrock, those two, and also the Bud guys, that, you know, they should maybe offer scholarships, because that's what they say, they don't have CDL drivers, that they could work on scholarship programs. So if you get that call, I should have told you already, but that these are opportunities, and so they were looking at, you know, if they hired out of the area, then they would have a scholarship, and then I was telling them that we were working on a contract with them, and so they seemed to like that, and he called back, but he's supposed to be getting, there's about 3 of them. Got him,
Right.
anyway, Cisco, Shamrock, and the Bud Company, I forget what it's called now.
Is there an age limit to get a CDL?
I think you gotta be able to see, get up in a truck.
I think it's
18.
18, I believe.
18?
Oh, minimum age?
Yeah, minimum, that's what,
Yeah.
thank you.
What's the length of the contract? How long do they have to
The
stay?
minimum contract we did, depending on how much grant funding they
Right.
received, is 3 years.
Okay.
The max was 4 years.
Okay, 3 to 4 years. Okay,
I think that's good.
Pretty good trade.
Yes.
that's good.
And it gives some additional training for those guys,
Thank you,
girls.
Cheryl.
Yeah, because they're still getting paid while they're
Yeah.
going through the training, plus we're paying for the training, so
Yeah,
yeah,
I think it's great.
that's a great opportunity.
Okay, number 8, discussion of resolution 2023-38, a resolution accepting donated items
Stephanie?
of real property for the Wingfield Heritage House Museum. And Stephanie,
Good morning.
good morning.
Morning.
I didn't realize this was something that I was supposed to be doing.
Oh, you did?
So,
Well, welcome to the show.
this item comes out of our committee meeting from 2 weeks ago, I guess. We, as you know, we've been taking in items from the Wingfield family, part of a large collection from Susan. And so about 250 items had come through here earlier, the first round that had been inventoried. So this is a second lot of that collection, mainly the photographs and a few other documents that are part of that collection. And the idea is to get all the photographs covered under this approval here, so. And I did not list all of them, there's probably over 1,000 photographs there, so. And they're family photos from the Lutterman, sorry, not Lutterman, the Robinson, Morrison, and Wingfield families that are all kind of several generations of that same family, mostly covering life here around the house, around the town, and some of the landmarks in the area. So,
Like Bonito.
yeah, and Benito, and some of the documents are from the Robinson family cover. He was a surveyor in the area, so there's a lot of survey documents about the early settlements here. He's involved in some of the early mines. So there's a little bit about that, and kind of just general local history.
Okay, when are you gonna go make a open-ended offer to the community?
For donating, as soon as I get a phone number, I'm gonna have call this number, leave me a message, and then I'll start setting up meetings to see what they have and keeping track of, is it something that we can take in
So
now?
they need to wait
or-
for your phone number.
Yeah, phone number, email address, and I'll get a formal form for me to track that information. Smaller donations we can take in, larger ones I'm gonna be mainly taking information about what they have so that we can come back to them when we have the space.
How close are you getting storage, Ron?
Mayor, council, I've sent to Zeke, I'm thinking it's fairly close to being a final design on the Horton on how we want to put that out there. Once we get it back from, I want to bring it to council and have it at a meeting and show you what our plan is on that, so.
6 months.
I'd like to do it sooner than that. Well, have the design and then move into it, but it will be 6 months before we'd have something, at least.
So you better hold off on making any kind of announcement, because people, you got to know where to put all of it.
Right, so, the first part will just be information gathering and seeing,
Picture of the item or
picture of the
storage.
item, their contact information, so I can get back in
Exactly.
touch with them and then bring it on. So,
Ron, are you looking at within the Horton or a separate building?
No.
Mayor Crawford, Councilor Coughlin, within the Horton, we're separating, we're no longer with the PD, we're looking at an office there for code enforcement, having.
Forestry.
Forestry will be there. We're looking at EOC, have our emergency manager there with the EOC, with the phone banks.
Don't get too excited. Yeah, I know he is.
And then we'd have for our clerks, we need to have a secure location for our documents, for our clerk, for her documents, for the police department, and then also have for the holding of the items for the museum.
So are we going to consider, given the light of what happened over the weekend, are we going to consider if those rooms, a couple of those rooms are just being used for storage, sealing up the windows?
Yes, we've already worked on that too. We have several that, with the clerks and with the Wingfield, we would eliminate the windows. Yes, we're working on that plan also.
Okay.
And even with, I believe, on one of the EOC rooms or the other, so, the phone bank.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we'll have that on a regular item, or do you want it on consent?
I didn't, Mr. Mayor, I wondered, Stephanie, too, we've got about 4 different ideas about how the timeline of all this is going to evolve. I'm not opposed to the resolution at all. What I'm suggesting is, if we're going for information for the public at large, maybe it should be a discussion so that people do know that we're not just ignoring them, but that we have all these things to get in line, because most people wouldn't even be aware of that.
Well, and that's what I've been telling people, because some of the stuff they're talking about are large items.
Right.
That I'm telling them, I don't know, but it's not my gig. I'm throwing it all on you and the, board. But she's got, you're working on your mission statement, or you already have that?
we just did that last week, so.
Okay, so we got the rules of what items we're accepting, time periods, things of that.
But it
And
might-
then, but we need to get it out to the public to let them know that we're getting close, because some people are saying, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, or we're gonna have to move it, and it's like, I don't even know what some of the items are. They're boxes of stuff that they say are historic stuff. And then we get a comment from Cornelius about the prehistory stuff that he's picked up. He's wanting to put in a little, not huge, but, they're asking, when are we gonna do it? Because he's got it on loan at the ENMU, and he doesn't know how long he's gonna leave it there.
Yeah, well, and the information gathering will help me figure out what we can put
What
on
you have.
exhibit and, design something and some huge thing comes in
So
and,
I think Gary's right. If you can maybe come up with something with your board on, things that we're getting ready to do, a timeline, and I know it's hard to stick to it, but that these are the type of items that we're looking for.
Sure.
If you would like to,
Yeah.
that we could maybe start that and get Carrie to start marketing that, putting it in our stuff, maybe put it in the newsletter.
And like you're doing, having Stephanie come on the radio. Yeah, that's
And
very
just talk
nice.
about it, so,
Yeah.
because that's what I tell them, just that, it is a high priority, but it's taking time, that's what I keep
Yeah.
telling them. And we don't have really anywhere to put it, that's why I want to make sure we got room so we can move stuff in and around. And
yeah, and so I can do exhibits because I have stuff to put in them.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
And Mayor Crawford, members of the council, the newsletter, it'd be great to put an article about that, have it for December, that'd be great.
Because we had a lot of pictures in there last time.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of print.
And a lot of people a lot of people are reading that newsletter.
Yes, they do.
So I get comments on that all the time.
Okay, so, regular. Okay, number 9, discussion on Village of Ruidoso Snow and Ice Removal Plan. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Steph.
Eric, Adam? Eric's excited over here, Mayor. That was a secret, so, but that's all right.
What was the secret about his new work spot?
No, he's fine.
He's been having to work with FEMA.
I know, it.
Every
He's,
time I go in there, he looks like he's just about to not crack a smile, but I don't know
Poor
what.
guy.
You know, you only have to smile through the pain when working with the
And it's
federal
constant.
government, and it's constant.
So, Mayor, Council, what you have before you is the updated for 23-24 snow removal plan. What we did is just went through after last year and made a couple corrections and added to it. Our plan is to basically every year before the snow flies, bring this to you with any updates or anything else that you guys want to see or anything we come up with.
Soon time.
Oh, bless you.
So, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So what you have before you is that snow and ice plan, just like what Adam mentioned to you. The contents on page 5 lists the whole plan within itself. We've only made a couple of revisions and corrections. We've had departments split off from each other, and we had turnover in the positions, so we added, subtracted those positions. The areas where we want to point out more, and Adam can talk to you further about this, is our priority list. I know some council members had questions about the priority list, so I'll hand it over to Adam.
So like we said last year, every road is a priority. But the roads that we have enough staff as of right now to hit, they have their own routes. So every part of town will be captured. But the priority routes that are listed are actually the bus routes and
Yeah.
to get the kids to school. So that's the routes we posted.
And so, going over to the plowing process, there are only 3 areas in the village that are specific to plowing. Either if it goes to the middle of the street, to the side of the street, the rest of it will be plowed into the ditch or drainage area. And so, the first one is Hickory to Southers Drive to Upper Canyon Circle. All of that snow will be pushed to the center of the street so we can get it out with a heavy machinery. Then from Hickory to Carrizo, all the snow will be plowed to the south side of the road. And then from Carrizo Canyon to Highway 70, that will be plowed to the center of the road, to the westbound lanes. And so, moving on to the responsibilities list, these are not all entailed. There are those as duties as assigned, as with all job descriptions and plans. But we try to capture them fully within the responsibilities. The main focus is Figure 1, the process of notification. We've added Step 0 and amended Step 2. Step 0, my office is constantly monitoring weather conditions and giving updates to our key stakeholders within public safety and public works, as well as letting Carrie know, hey, we might have some more snow, ice, road conditions, so she can get that out to the general public. That's a great side note of this morning I was messing around on the laptop and looked at some weather reports this morning. And within the coming days, we could see up to 1 inch of snow within our area. Now that forecast is very uncertain at this moment. We will know more within the coming hours to days, probably more suitable tomorrow. But that is on our radar, and I have let Adam know, and when emails come back up online, we'll do the normal weather reports to the key stakeholders. So, more to come. With that, Adam?
I think there was a little change to Step 2 on that. When dispatch calls street manager, I did put myself on there also just so I'm notified and I can start keeping times and, make sure everybody's notified.
Came out all messed up.
You're done. Yes, we like And then, on the last page, the second last page, you have the updated phone list. Those phone numbers were personal cell phone numbers last year. We made the switch to village phones, so we updated that phone list. And then the thing that I'm most proud of is the last page, which is the map that took me 3 days to complete, using GIS. And so I had Ashley over at the water department help me with GIS stuff, and she taught me some good things. So we have the priority 1 routes, which are blue, and the priority 2 routes, which are green, and then priority 3 is not listed, because those are more of the driveways and such that are not really applicable to this map. So with that, Adam, you have anything else?
That's it. We'll save for questions if you have anything.
Guess I'm gonna have to plow my own road.
Yep. So, and that's the question I have, is there that although these roads are listed, but the artery or the side roads and stuff will eventually be plowed, and that will come when, during third or after third priority?
Depending on the storm, I mean, every storm's gonna be different.
Right.
But the main, I mean, as soon as the guys are called out and get out there, this is the priority to get the bus routes cleared.
Sure.
As soon as the bus routes are cleared, and we can actually get a handle on it, if it's snowing like crazy and we can't keep up, these are the priority roads we're gonna stick to get
Okay.
the main thoroughfares, clear. Now, if it snows and we can get them knocked off and break some people off to start, just getting the route, that's when we'll disperse and get everybody on the route. And then a couple people will start taking care of the main roads.
So that's what I'm getting at. So after all these priority roads are done, then they'll go out into the neighborhoods and
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
Cause I already hear Lupine Loop, Ridgecrest Drive. There's a few that, that hit me up last time on it. The only reason why I bring up Ridgecrest Drive is because I lived there for 23 years. But a lot of people, especially the locals, know not to hit the intersection of Grindstone and Wingfield, because you'll slide in, so, it's pretty level to go there. And
Some, Counselor Salas, some of the training that I've done with the street guys and the water guys is, when I'm plowing, I don't just go plow a road and then turn around and go back.
Right.
I'll plow a road and I have a redundancy that I'll go through another road to come back and
Yeah.
actually hit that road. So
Right,
We're
right.
getting the roads between there, but it's just, we're trying to get the main roads knocked off, for the main thoroughfares first. But yes.
That's important.
Okay. And then also, when you're using the pickup trucks to plow, that you make 2 swipes on the road?
4 swipes.
4 swipes, okay, that's even better. Because that was the other concerns that's there, that, hey, we're still getting quite a bit on there. And
My plow on my truck is one of the, it's a wide plow, but it's a smaller plow. And majority of the roads, like your road,
Right,
your road takes me about 5 swipes to get off.
okay,
So 3 to 4 swipes on normal roads for a normal pickup, maybe 3 for a dump truck.
right,
The one thing, we gotta, and I've told the guys and we've had some sit downs with, is, if we have a snowstorm, we want it as wide as we can because we have to be able to put the snow if we get another one. So we gotta widen them out. The wider you get them the first time, the better off we're gonna be for the next.
and also what I would add in the plan, that the resident is responsible for removing their snow on their driveway. Because we always I get the call on that, or when are they gonna come and shovel my driveway? And I go, we don't do that.
No.
But they complain about the plow
Yes.
piling it up right there. And while it's on village right away, and that's where it's, that's homeowner's
It's always
responsibility.
after I plow, I shovel my driveway, then they come by and it's like, okay, let me go back there again.
What about, since we've talked about that, like the businesses downtown, and I can name a few that they shovel their big parking lots with their truck or whatever,
out in the street.
and then just push it after we've already done our stuff, they push it out and not flat, it's in clumps when you go by. Is there something?
You're talking to Ace and to those guys, right?
Yes, we've talked to
Schlotsky,
the contractors that actually remove the snow we talked to last year, and we're gonna send them out again. There's different people every year, but we try to get a hold of as many as we can to tell them where to put the snow and not
Sure.
leave lanes and stuff like
Okay.
that. So it is, because it's a hindrance on us also.
I know it is.
Well, and Rifle, like you were mentioning the side roads and such, like I see Rim Road on here, but High Loop isn't listed, but you have to go up High Loop to get to Rim, so.
Right.
I know
I mean,
they always get that, it's just, you're gonna have a super long list if you go to everything.
But you know how people are, they're just looking for their road right
Exactly,
there
yeah.
and said, hey, how come?
Wait
And
a
then
minute,
that's
how
the-
come?
That's there,
I
we
live on
gotta
High
go
Loop,
to.
how come that one's
I
not being
didn't do a
done?
High Loop on there because Counselor Coughlin lives there.
That's changing soon, though.
I'm on Rim, I noticed that.
Tell you what I do.
Can I make a suggestion to add something to the third priority, to do the parking lot at Horton? Because I know like last winter, we had a situation where the police department was saying stay off the roads, but yet they had a basketball tournament that was scheduled at the Horton gym. And once they get in there and start driving on it, they pack it down, and then you got ice, and it's gonna take a lot to get rid of it.
So, Counselor Coughlin, there is another, I guess it's not in this plan, but it's one of the things that we've talked to Parks and Rec about. Parks and Rec is responsible for all the parking lots. We also have the, new forestry trucks with plows on them, so we can actually spread people out, and, Matt and I have talked about the parking lots and what order to kind of go on those parking lots also, but yes.
Okay, as long as it's identified as a parking lot, so somebody doesn't, so it doesn't get forgotten about. Because that was a problem, I think I talked to Ron last year, it's like, you know, if we got mixed messages going out. Stay off the roads, but yet, oh yeah, the Horton's open, come on down, and it's like, wait a minute, so.
And, go ahead.
I would just ask, it doesn't mention anything about coordination or communication with the school district.
I think
So, that is more entailed with the emergency operations plan, so this is like an annex of the emergency operations plan. We have, Annex P for public information, and that corresponds with, or coordinates with Annex A, which is warning.
Hey, buddy.
And so, my office as well as Adam's office, I know he's on the phone with the, school district transportation division, and then I'm in, contact with the school district, with the, manager's office, with public, information, with PD, with fire. And so that's where my office really, works with coordinating that aspect of why are we having three different messages go out? Let's consolidate it into one, information message going out. If PD's saying the roads are not safe, let's make sure that both, fire department's putting out the same thing, public information is putting out the same thing, and working with our school districts.
And usually, if we get a snowstorm overnight, by 4:30 or 5 o'clock, I'm on the phone with the bus barn.
Yeah.
Mike with the buses, so I do coordinate with him, and he coordinates with the schools on
So
that.
do you all possibly advise the school district? We really suggest that you should close today.
I advise the bus barn, or the bus transportation, Mike, and he advises the schools.
And they make their determination based on, like, I know there was one time that they decided to shut down the schools, and the roads here were clear, but out at, like, Rancho Ruidoso,
that's
it was
right, I
packed
remember
with
that.
snow, or they had issues with Mescalero, so they look at
The
district-wide.
whole,
Yeah, so I know sometimes people complain, what are you talking about? The roads are great here in town.
And did we already cover about the sleeping arrangements?
No, we did not. So, we've been in a conversation with, Chief Kajabowski and, Ross, and, they are making bunks available for.
Oh, that's
for
nice.
People who
Or out of town?
out of town, or, you know, if there's a long shift or something like that, and they need to get some sleep.
Sure.
We also are coordinating with the community center for, like, if we have a big snowstorm and there's a shift change, for them to go get coffee and, you know, kind of get a briefing, for the next shift.
And then the update on your snow blower.
Okay, so I've reached out to a company, name's slips my mind now. I've been in contact with two salesmen, out of Colorado and Utah, and it's looking like they may have one in stock. I'm trying to get a price. We did spec it. There's two different ones we're looking at, a little bit smaller one and a medium-sized one. But, it does look like they do have one on the ground, so I'm waiting on a price on that.
For the sidewalks?
No.
Oh.
They pull behind the truck, or it runs behind the dump truck, and it blows it up in the end,
So-
instead of piling it up in the settle and coming with a front end loader.
We have we got a new loader, a brand new loader. So, it's got the capacity to actually hook that snow blower on the front of it. And so, instead of sliding around trying to load the dump trucks, you just go into it and blow it in the trucks.
Nice.
Let's speed that up. Okay.
So instead of having it in the middle of the road, it just goes right into your,
It'll be in the middle of the road, but when we're picking it up.
I see,
instead of
okay,
loading
got
up, we
it,
can-
okay.
So that this, and they got it really down last
Yeah.
year. Y'all did it
Oh, yeah.
fast, but this will make it even smoother.
Yes.
Okay, discussion or, you want
Regular.
regular?
This needs to get out to the public.
Okay.
Because-
And it was in the newsletter
Yeah.
that just went out. We posted a little bit on that.
As soon as we start getting snow, people are gonna start complaining, when are you gonna plow my road?
I thought you were leaving town.
We're gonna start.
I'm gonna start.
I'm gonna forward my phone to you.
Yeah, you just, let me have control of that, what's it called, your,
Rid us of discussions?
yeah, riddles discussions. Just like, shut up, quit whining, quit whining, quit whining.
Unlike.
Block.
So then we'll go back to the,
Mayor, we had one, if we can have Cheryl come back up, just on that last MOU with the college. Did you want to, there was a typo on there that Counselor Salas, we just wanted her just to verify that, so.
I think it got fixed already. It got
Mayor,
fixed,
Council-
So Yvonne fixed it. I
It's
just saw it
corrected. I apologize. I was too excited talking
No,
about the program. I
that's
forgot
okay.
to mention there was a typo.
Well, when I was looking at it now, I saw it updated.
Good deal.
It just had 2022 instead of 2023 when the classes were starting. So I said, oh, we ran it last year. Or they're in remedial class. Yeah.
and then we're gonna put on, Coach Speck, had a kid that he was telling Joe about that, broke up some bullying and stuff at school. Some girls were bullying another girl and he kind of stepped in there. So we just wanted to recognize him. So that's what I need to do. So if I don't get that email from Speck, he may have sent it and I just haven't got it yet.
Right.
Does this kid wanna be
On the
recognized?
mayoral point, huh?
Does this kid wanna be recognized? Cause I can see that also being a target.
Well, and I asked him about it. And so he was gonna make darn sure.
Okay.
So that's the only thing that I have there. And then we're gonna have, minutes, of course, the scheduled public hearing for adoption of MRA, the records destruction, new employees, so, also somewhere in here, when are we going to, do we want to put it under mail reports and presentations? We're gonna see Rick Lamb, that we want to do, Stephanie with RMA.
And we have them we have her under the just put it under mayoral reports. Let's move
Oh,
that
do we
one.
have it under, you had it under management?
But I'd rather have it under that, Mayor, under yours.
And remember, his name is Rick.
Oh, I know. I don't forget anymore.
What did I say?
No.
I can
Ron
never-
could never remember his name, so I told him something over the weekend. Now he'll remember. Because his legal name's Richard, so,
Oh, okay.
and it's
And
not
then-
the other one.
We're gonna have a gal that's with, farmers, and the reason that we picked her is because she's shown initiative. She showed up to the fire, wildland fire of, whatever that thing was, about a month ago, conference, that they're going to, she's gonna come in and just talk about insurance rates, some of the things that are going on, because our defensible space is what the other agents that I've called and talked to, is if you have defensible space and you're up to date on your certification, then 9 times out of 10, they'll write you.
Still going up, but they'll write you.
Yeah. Mine didn't go up.
Mine went
Ours
up
didn't
45%.
Mine didn't. I guess maybe it's because my new metal roof and
Mine went up.
my connections is what it is.
That's it, yeah, pulling strings again.
And then, we're gonna I just wanted to give you guys an update on the, treatment plant, because there's just a few of us that are in that deal all the time, because we're getting ready to go through some additional monies and some different programs out there, and so we're gonna have Isaac come in and do that.
Isaac and Rifle took me for a grand tour.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was,
is it interesting to you?
it was.
And then, what happened on the tour yesterday with, Miss Overhue?
We have Christella, if she wants to come up, and we had her class, her environmental sciences class, had a large group. It was great. We went to visit with them a little bit, but still on them.
We had 42 students come out with Ms. Oberhue. In the morning, they toured plants 3 and 4 with Randy, came by here for lunch and learn with water resources, forestry, and with water distribution. After that, they went by solid waste and toured that facility, and then ended the day over with Isaac at the wastewater treatment plant. She said there was a lot of students who are interested in entry-level positions here with the village, so she asked me to send over some of the job descriptions. So I need to work with Cheryl and what educational requirements are needed for those. And she did say that there's a couple of students who are at the top of their class who have no interest in going to college. So she wanted to find out what job opportunities are available to them. And we're looking at trying to start an internship for kids who do want to.
So
start
I
working.
love that so much.
Anyway, that's a great job. Yeah, there was a
There's
bunch
several
of,
students who are juniors, so maybe they can work in the summer and start looking at jobs in the environmental arena. But each of the presenters talked about how they got involved in the career, because not all of us started off working in environmental, and how we ended up here and why we like working in there, so it worked out.
You know how high schools they have colleges come in and you go to each college? I think it would be so great and you couldn't do it that extensive. That
Yes.
was a great way to show kids. But, to have the police department, the fire department, the water, the Parks and Rec, secretaries and clerks. I just think that would be so great to do stuff like that.
well, they've done it at Career Day, at ENU, the job fairs, but this was actually taking them on site.
I know, and that, you can't ask for a better,
That was great.
yeah.
And the students were so, they interacted well, they were respectful. I was really impressed with those kids, and they were thankful. We fed them, they didn't leave a mess. I was really impressed with the kids.
Did Randy wear his Minnesota Vikings hat?
I think
I
so.
don't think so. Well, his new quarterback
He did,
did
but he-
win, so I would assume he did.
He probably
But he had a black band on.
Yeah,
But I didn't see what he was wearing, but all the directors were very good about helping out, and they didn't hesitate at all, so I was very grateful. But no, I think it turned out well, and so we're gonna continue on and start working on internship job descriptions to see.
and then that would tie right into the 3 and 4 stuff that we got.
Yeah.
And hopefully some of our existing employees want to take advantage of that.
I just
too.
love that. That's great.
Okay, then boards and commissions, we have an opening on the library, and we've got Brenda Garcia, really nice gal. She worked with Susan years ago at the First National, now she's with Region 9. She's got kiddos, she's here anyway. so-
Yeah, she's went to Red Osa schools, and so I'm really excited about that. Thank you.
Should be good.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move number 3, Stephanie Leland, to mayor's report. I'm sorry, I just didn't see that.
Yes, Mayor and Council. And number 2, that we'll just postpone that till next month. The county commission meeting has been rescheduled to the same day as our meeting, so they're going to be attending that. So,
Yeah, they're not ready. Anyway. And then Adam will give us an update on the striping project. If y'all hadn't seen it, it's really pretty nice.
Yeah.
And they're gonna do another layer or another coat, I guess you'd call it. So I think that's gone pretty quick. Fall and winter events, hopefully Adam's well by then.
Matthew?
I just got Adam on the brain. You're welcome, bro.
Matt sick?
Get Matthew, and I know T-Bone's ready.
Christmas in the park is the 30th, correct?
The
The
30th.
30th.
Oh, the 30th. And the Christmas parade is the first week, Saturday of December.
The second.
Man, that's cool.
Second, Saturday,
No, December
The
2nd?
Christmas parade is.
December 2nd.
Yeah. Okay.
December 2nd, man, oh man, oh man.
Coming up.
Isn't Christmas in the park normally the first Oh, after Thanksgiving. I was thinking December. Okay.
So it's the 30th, Christmas tree lighting in the park, okay? Public hearings, ordinance 2023-13, authorizing the issuance of the Village of Ruidoso, New Mexico GO bonds, Series 2023, in aggregate principal amount of 1.5 million to enlarge, improve, and extend production of distribution components of the village's water system.
And so we do this, this is going to be on the ballot, right?
Yes.
So we do this just so that people can come and
Yes.
ask questions?
Yep, and you put it in front of them.
Okay.
Well, this is from the last election, correct?
No, this is for, well, it is.
Yes, this is for the last.
I get confused.
Chris
yeah.
Muirhead will be here to explain all that,
The
but yes,
second half from the last election.
Yes, so this is us saying we're getting ready to exercise.
right.
Okay, yeah, I get confused on
And
these
then
things
in March, we'll go out, we'll do it again?
for an extension.
Okay.
Okay. Does anybody have anything else they can think of?
I'd like to ask, you stated that you're gonna have the lady come in and talk about insurance, homeowners insurance, fire insurance. I just wondered if, there could be a conversation about, let's say, what the homeowners here in town that have go ahead and complied with the, WUI, with the Forestry Department and been certified, if there's any kind of communication possibly between that and what does our certification mean as far as insurance? Because I've had reports from people saying they've had the insurance company come out and say, oh, you gotta cut this down,
Yep.
you gotta cut this down, you gotta cut this down. So is there any kind of coordination with say, those have been certified? Does that mean anything?
Some have told me yes, and others have told me just what you said.
So I'd like to understand if there is any kind of, and does our certification really mean anything as far as the insurance?
Like I said, some
companies go?
told me that it means a lot. Do you have your updated certification? Most of them are taking Google map pictures.
Doing a lot on
If
satellite.
they see something off, then they will send people out if you request it enough. But like Farm Bureau was the one.
State Farm has been great with us.
Because, a lot of people were getting turned down. I know houses that were purchased, people were freaking out because they couldn't get insurance. And we made phone calls to Kerry Chavez, State Farm, Farm Bureau, farmers, all the local ones that I could find. I called and asked them, and they all virtually said the same thing. If they're in compliance with the thinning ordinance, that they usually can get it done. And they said in some cases, they do have people come out and look at it, so.
I've been getting a lot of calls for distances from our house.
In what?
For dis-
I've been getting a lot of calls from, the homeowners and the insurance companies for distance of our house from the.
I know they sent me a notice that they weren't gonna renew based on satellite pictures, and then I'm going, what? So I had to go outside and take pictures and send it to them. So the satellite that they were using was old stuff.
And out at the track, they did the same thing, and I went back and stood up there and showed them it's already burnt,
Yeah.
And so, and then all of them told me, and I'll ask her, I forgot her name, I don't know her personally, she was just at the meeting, at the conference, and whatever, about, I lost my train of thought. That's what happens when I get two texts. But anyway, I don't know her, but we can ask her all those questions that you want, see if she has any knowledge of it. And we asked her to keep it short, like doing a quick 5-10 minute presentation. And then just.
Because-
Ashley?
Yes, Ashley Dalton.
Because what's going to happen is if insurance companies aren't giving the people breaks when they do have that certificate, we'll have a heck of a time getting people to cut.
Well, they're enforcing it. If you want insurance, that tree's gone.
Oh, okay.
That's what they're saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and because some of them said that any tree within 30 feet. And I was like, you're kidding. I mean, you know, and
That one would be gone.
that would be gone, you know, and I was looking at my trees, and so when we called Farm Bureau, they sent a guy out, and he looked up and say, everybody, that is Chief Joe Commander from the city of Ruidoso Downs. I think,
All right,
and,
Chief.
and this is the council we have. I think you might know most of everybody or have met it. Do we get him fixed up?
Annette is working on it, yes.
Okay, and that'll be getting you fixed up shortly, Chief. So, he's a retired transplant from Odessa, where I knew him. And he came up here and he just got tired of driving his little red Corvette,
Oh, boy.
playing golf. And he got to know the mayor down there, so we're happy that he's down there, so. Anyway, thanks, Chief. So, but that's one of the things that she said, that all of them said, that, and I saw this in Florida, being in the insurance business, that they'll come through and they won't write. And then it's because they have too much of a book of business in the community.
Yeah.
And then as other things come on, they kind of loosen their requirements. So they told me that it's a rough period. But like Republic, some of the big ones that underwrite these other companies, they've all pulled out of not writing anything. And so we've called the governor, but, you know, about her talking to him. But New Mexico, quite honestly, doesn't have enough clout with, you know, we don't have that many insureds.
Jim Calvelich told me that he and his wife Vicky live in Alto, and he said they're going to have to move because their insurance has gone up triple, and so they can't afford the insurance.
Wow. That's crazy. That shouldn't be legal. All right, anything else anybody can come up with? We good?
Tell you, insurance in Florida is cheaper than here. It's hard to believe.
It is. Well, that's what I'm saying. It goes back and forth.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you Floridians are the ones that's breaking the rest of the country.
Yeah, that is.
I know, I was surprised when we got our quote. It's like, holy cow.
All right, we all good?
Yep.
Okay, if anything comes up, let me know real quick so we can move forward on it, but it doesn't look like it's a real long agenda. Thank you, Counselor Hooker. Hopefully you enjoy your time in Omasea.
Yes, sir.
This meeting is adjourned. Oh, that was loud. Have any of y'all watched the new movie yet? The